Hej ifrån garaget igen. Det här avsnittet kommer ni få träffa David Egan som hjälper till att driva Driftmasters. Han var i USA och körde. Vi tog en liten pratstund med han. Lite kortare klipp. Nu får ni se. Litet bra surr. Hello and welcome. Today we are at Clutch Kickers in Florida with David Egan. But we have seen you around a lot because when we did the Masters, because you are like in charge there.
Not totally in charge. That would be dangerous putting me in charge completely. So I'm vice president, so I have the crazy ideas, but there's a president to stop me being too crazy. And I do the announcing and all that good stuff there as well, yeah. So finished the season there and came over here for some fun.
Yeah, but how come that you are here to drive the Clutch Kickers here? Because you rented a car? We thought the same thing, but you did it.
I didn't rent it, actually. Zach, who owns the car, is friends with Duarte, who's a friend of ours from Drift HQ. And they were watching Drift Masters and all of our content on Drift Games. A lot of drift. Yeah. So in Drift Games we do a YouTube channel, we build cars and we pretend we know what we're doing when we don't most of the time. And he thought it was really entertaining and he said, do you want to come over, like film the event, drive the car? And I said, well, where are you going to get an opportunity? And we were already coming over to do SEMA and Drift Week and other stuff. So I was like, why not add it in? So I spent the last 2 days trying to pretend that I knew what was going on and just... I qualified, I won a battle, I lost at MLZ, it was alright.
Yeah, it must be a fun day because you talked earlier, but you did 3 one more times.
Yeah, I did 3 one more times against a driver from the Dominican Republic. He's a Falcon Tires driver. And we came into the pits getting ready for the 3rd one more time. Yeah. And unfortunately, I can say it with a smile now, but not so much at the time. His car exploded, so the nitrous exploded in his manifold. The entire car exploded in flames.
Oh no.
In the pits across from me. And we didn't know what was going on. There was a big panic. There was ambulances, fire brigades. It was very stressful for everybody. Luckily, no one was hurt, and they tried to get the car back going again. And we gave them a decision in more time, but they didn't get back out, so we did that. Okay, and then we got to today, and we got a misfire in the car. So the car misfired. I think we were like 7 or 6 cylinders trying to go up against LZ. So yeah, we were a small dog in the fight, but we gave it a go. It was fun.
Yeah. The biggest difference between doing events in Europe and coming over here, what do you think is the biggest twist from being in Europe to being here?
I mean, look, at its core, a lot of the conversations are the same. Tires, grip, setup. Obviously a lot more V8s here because they're so accessible. The ovals are different. We don't have the ovals in Europe the same way, so this drifting at vertical banks and stuff is very different for us. And I think another big difference is the noise, because they have no noise regulations.
No, they are so loud. You're sitting up in the grandstands and just like the air shivers when they go past you.
It's so strange how loud they can run them. And even in the car, you're like, this car is so loud compared to mine. In Ireland, I have pretty much the same car, but I can hear the intake noise. Here, it's just all exhaust.
Yeah, it's pretty intense. But the biggest thing for us when we come over and see her is just like the prize money and also the easy access to the venues in one way. You at Drift Masters have done it also because of the final event when you were in the Speedway Stadium and stuff like that. But it seems it's because when you look at it from overseas, it seems a lot more bigger than it really is here in one way also.
I would say, yeah. I mean, what you have here is huge personalities, but you might not have huge audiences. And a lot of that comes from, I think, the fact that it runs regularly. So there's 5 events and 6 events in the same location. People will pick and choose. They won't go to all 6. Also in Drift Masters, you're going to one country once a year. So everybody comes out from the scene for that one weekend. Easy to get everyone to one weekend. Hard to get them to 6 or 7 weekends. The same with any national championship. It's the same. Difficult to repeat people through it. But I think, like, to be honest, the more I've spent time here, they have a lot more freedom, obviously. They don't seem to care, especially in this part of the world, about emissions or noise or any of those things, whereas we have that as a very conscious thing in Europe. And then, to be honest, the people, I think, are very similar. Just the climate and the circumstances. Remember, the reason they have the access to the tracks is because the tracks exist because of all these speedways and ovals and NASCAR stuff that they do. So that doesn't exist in Europe, so that's why. Yeah,
they have a bigger culture to begin with. And now when the drifting sites take off, they have a platform to work from.
But then again, they complain to me that all their tracks are the same because they're all ovals.
Yeah.
So they like the fact that we have twisty tracks, like, you know, Mandela or wherever. They're like we have tracks that are actual race circuits, and they think that's way cooler than this, and when we come over here and think this is way cooler. So I think it's different strokes for different folks. Everything, grass is greener on the other side.
Yeah, always.
They love some of the stuff. We have way more Japanese cars available to us than they have here, but then we love all their V8s. Yeah. So I think it's just, when we travel a lot, all we ever hear people talk about is how other people have it great and they don't. And then you realize that it's just different.
Yeah, it's just different. It's always the things you don't have seems more, how do you say?
Exotic.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's the word. But really fun to talk to you, and thank you a lot just for this quick
interview. Always, it's good to see you and your whole crew here. Hope you guys enjoy the weekend. And like us, don't melt.
Don't melt. Tack så mycket för att ni kollade. Och kom ihåg, följ Drift Games, deras YouTube-kanal är svinbra. Allting är grymt det de gör. Så får ni se väldigt mycket både från Europa och USA. Ha det jättebra, så hörs vi igen sen. Tjena!